To better understand the power of the Yang Fire Horse year, it's not enough to just look at the present. In Chinese tradition, learning from time also means looking back and observing how this same energy has already manifested at other moments in history. And that's exactly what we're going to do now. The year of the fire horse, it's rare. It happens within the Chinese sexagenary cycle, which combines animal, element, and polarity, and this repeats every 60 years. This specific combination previously occurred in 1966, 1906, and 1846. In other words, we're always talking about cycles separated by 60 years with the same energetic quality. The closest example is 1966. And what was it that marked 1966? 1966 wasn't an isolated year. It happened in the heart of the 60s, one of the most intense, accelerated, and transformative periods in recent history. The 60s were marked by an enormous accumulation of social, political, cultural, and existential tension. An entire generation began to question everything that had been inherited without choice. By 1966, this movement was no longer silent or isolated. It was becoming explicit, collective, and impossible to contain. It was a period of intense social movements, especially linked to civil rights, individual freedom, and the challenging of authoritarian structures. Profound cultural revolutions, with open questioning of traditional values linked to family, work, sexuality, and blind obedience to institutions. It was also marked by explicit ideological conflicts, where opposing worldviews stopped coexisting silently and began to confront each other openly. Mass protests, occupying streets, universities, and public spaces, abrupt changes in collective behavior, especially among the youth, who began to reject old patterns and seek new ways of living, expressing themselves, and relating to one another. And although the famous Woodstock Festival happened in 1969 and not in 1966, it's a direct result of this cultural brew that was already boiling. Woodstock didn't come out of nowhere. It was the ultimate expression of a movement that was already running wild. The youth wanted freedom. They wanted to live outside of constraints. They wanted to experiment, express themselves, love, create, and question. When an energy like that of the young fire horse enters the scene, everything that was contained, repressed, or swept under the rug tends to come to the surface with force. Time demands movement, and what has remained still for too long ends up moving with abrupt force, sometimes even chaotically. The young fire horse doesn't come to negotiate with rigid structures. It comes to break them if they can no longer hold the life that wants to emerge. Not because the horse caused these events, but because the energy favored the release of tensions accumulated for years. And when we look at other historical moments of strong acceleration, we see similar patterns. If we look at 1906, for example, which was another year of the Yang Fire Horse, we find a different historical context, but with a very similar dynamic. It was a period marked by great social transformations, accelerated industrialization, global political tensions preceding World War I, and strong labor movements that questioned exhausting workdays, exploitation, and inequality. And in a symbolic and very powerful way, in 1906, the San Francisco earthquake occurred, which literally destroyed old structures and forced a complete reconstruction of the city. Once again, it's important to clarify that it's not about saying the year itself directly caused the event, but rather about observing that young fire horse years tend to coincide with periods or times when rigid structures simply can no longer sustain themselves. When the internal pressure becomes too great, movement happens. And when it happens, it is rarely delicate. In 1846, we again see a scenario of rupture, armed conflicts, territorial disputes, political tensions, and a world moving rapidly toward the great revolutions of 1848 in Europe. The repeating pattern is not the specific event, but the type of movement. Yang Fire Horse is not fine-tuning energy. It's energy of rhythm breaking, historical acceleration, and visible collective change. And here's an essential point for those watching now. When humanity ignores cycles of introspection and planning, the following cycles tend to correct this through forced movement. Not as punishment, but as a natural consequence of the accumulation of tension. This look at the past isn't to generate fear, it's to generate awareness. Why? Because when we understand how this energy manifested before, it helps us choose, in the now, whether we'll go through this cycle being dragged along or leading the horse with presence, direction, and wisdom. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in the next video. In the next video, I'll show you how to live the year of the Yang Fire Horse in practice. What attitudes does this year call for? What are the main risks? And how to use this force as a conscious impulse and not as an out-of-control fire. If this content made sense to you, write in the comments and we'll see you in the next video.